everybody, welcome back to Witchfix. Today I'm going to be talking about a Steam game. Don't hang up. I guarantee, even if you're not a gamer, you're going to like this game, so stick with me. I saw this on TikTok, which I recently joined to prove that I'm cool and down with the kids. It was posted by a user called @Laelindria, Laelindria. So if you want to see a full in-depth video on it, then go follow her or them. It's been a while since I saw it. But basically this is a kind of mystery game and it runs on my decrepit laptop. So I think no matter what kind of computer you have, you can run this game. Like mine usually only runs like little pixel games or point and clicks. It will work on your computer. And this is put out by Bad Viking and Iceberg Interactive. You can play the demo for free on Steam, so if you don't have Steam already, just download Steam and then you can download and play this demo, which is the first 2 days of this kind of mystery story. And I was hooked from the moment that I saw this video on TikTok. I was like, I have to play this game. It's called Strange Horticulture and it's all about plant lore and fantasy plant lore and mysteries in a small fantasy town. So the framing of the story is told in a sort of quick couple of screens at the beginning, but basically you've just inherited Strange Horticulture, a plant shop, apothecary, in a small town called Undermere from your uncle who's died. And you go in, there's atmospheric piano music, there's rain outside, there's a black cat sleeping on the counter, and the whole screen is basically framed as you being at the counter. So there's like a rack of plants above where you are, there's a drawer you can open, you can take out your little plant almanac, a map of the surrounding forest, little labels that you can write on, I'll get back to that in a minute, and also it's where you can review your letters, because you will get letters every day from a postman. So the game is sort of broken up into like plant identification, plant collection, and pursuing the mystery, and you don't really get to do a huge amount of pursuing the mystery in the first 2 days, which is like all you have. But you get to do a lot of other stuff, so I'm going to talk about that. So basically, you'll open your drawer, you'll look around at stuff. The game doesn't necessarily tell you how to play it, although there is a hint button. But basically, you'll click on the bell on the counter and it will ring and a customer will come in. And they will ask you either for a plant, or they'll give you an ailment for which you'll need to look up a plant, or they'll give you one name for a plant, but you will have to look for it by another name. So they'll give you like the Latin name and you'll have to use like the folk name for it. So there's a little bit of kind of lateral thinking there, and you'll sort of be given this request and then you have to look at your stock of unlabeled plants. And you can drag them to a microscope and the microscope will tell you something about them, like this plant has thick waxy leaves, this plant smells like butter, this plant has a strange aura. And you'll use that in conjunction with your almanac to try and identify it by the little picture, which is usually of like a close-up part of it, or some of its qualities, like sometimes it says the bulb has a really strong smell and its flower is made up of lots of little flowers. So you'll drag the plant onto the microscope and it'll be like, this plant has a very smelly bulb. And you'll look at it and go, well, that's got a lot of little flowers. You drag that onto the person and if it's right, it makes a little twinkly noise, and you get rewarded with new pages for your almanac, or in some cases, a new plant, which will go on the shelf. And then you can pull up the little labels and put them down, drag the plant you've just identified onto the labels, and then type in the name of the plant for yourself. And then it puts it back on the rack with a little label on it so that you can find it again next time, which is so cute, and I love that I got to write it myself. If you get this wrong, like identify the wrong plant, I think like 3 times in a row, you'll get a game over, which can be a little bit frustrating, and that did happen to me once because I wasn't really sure what I was meant to be doing, but it's very quick to get the hang of it, and it's very quick to just start again because there's not much of the game available to you in the demo, so it's fine. I think you only lose like that day's progress. Something else that forms quite a large percentage of the gameplay is searching for new plants yourself. So you'll have a map, and slowly this kind of ring of points builds up around the compass icon on the left-hand side of the screen. Sometimes because you get compass icons delivered to you in the post, they just come out of letters, and also they just build up over time. And when that's full, you click on it, it brings up a larger version of your map, and you can click on any square on it to go and search. You also receive letters that say things like, I was beaten by ruffians in Goose Ridge, and when I went to the northeast to recover by a spring, I looked into the forest and saw a strange looking plant. So then you'll find like Goose Ridge on the map, and then you'll find like the woods that he's talking about and the stream. Click on the square and it will tell you you've found a new plant, and that will get added to your store of plants, which is quite interesting, and also seems to be to do with the mystery, because at one point it does say, you know, there's mysterious witches who live in the woods and you should go and visit them, and I tried and I wasn't able to. They wouldn't accept my like letter of passage, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but that's basically where the demo ends anyway. So you've got this identifying plants thing. They're all like fantasy plants, which have different names and things. There's one which I thought was adorable, which is called the Wandering Blue, and it's a mushroom, which isn't blue, but it can move around, and it moves like on the shelf, so it's not where you saw it yesterday, it's on a different part of the shelf, which I thought was adorable. Just a lovely attention to detail. Also, the cat does different things, like sometimes it's sleeping and sometimes it's like upright licking a paw, so that's cute and adorable as well. And it seems that there's been some sort of murder in the witch community in the woods, and people come to you to ask you for like the plant that you give to someone to make them trust you, because he's going to investigate the murder, so I guess maybe we'll be involved in that later on. And then at the end of each day, you'll go to sleep, you'll shut the shop, and there will be a stack of like tarot cards there, and you'll click on it and one will come up. And the first day's one is a picture of a bend in the river that says like the 8th row, the 3rd river. And it's a clue. I'm not sure for what, because I looked at the map and couldn't find a river that looked like that. So maybe I'm just stupid, but I couldn't see it. And then obviously you get your second clue, but that's where the demo ends. So I didn't get to do too much of that, but it was interesting and I liked it. So there we go. Unlike quite a lot of other like point and click mystery games that I've seen advertised on Steam, this isn't like a find the hidden object game. It actually requires you to think and to remember things like, oh, I flicked past that page in the book and it said something about skin conditions, and this guy has come in saying he's all itchy, so I should probably give him the thing that's for skin conditions. And also like when people give you the Latin name and you have to like look through the book and try and find it, finding things that match the description, finding your way on the map using written directions, little things like that. It's not like too difficult to sort of get your head around, but it is just enough of a mental workout that you're like, I feel a little bit clever doing this. So far there doesn't seem to be any like time sensitive gameplay, so if you have never played a game before and you think you'd struggle with like timing things properly or reacting quick enough, there isn't that. It's literally just like pointing and clicking. Like if you can play Candy Crush, you can play this. So it's very accessible and very easy to play. You only need to use like the mouse and occasionally like the keys to like type in names on plants on the labels. So you don't need like a controller or anything to like make it easier to play. You don't have to move a camera around, which my mother struggles with. I tried to get her to play a game once and she couldn't get her head around moving her legs with the left stick and moving the camera with the right stick. She just spun around in a circle looking at the floor. It's quite sad to watch, but this is like really easy to control. If you're not the kind of person who like plays console games or PC games or games in any sense, this is way more casual of an experience. It's very enjoyable, so I love that. I also love the kind of Tim Burton-esque illustrations of like the little people with their little pale faces and sort of dab Victorian clothes. The shop itself is very atmospheric. I love the music, the sound effects. It's just lovely. And it's also quite intuitive. Like once you've been playing for a few minutes, you're kind of like, oh, I see, this is how I use all of this stuff. I can just drag this over here and put it on that and it'll work. So it's quite simple, easy to pick up. And I'm just really interested in the story and where it's going to go. I don't think the full version comes out until 2022, which isn't long to go now, which is scary because it's nearly the end of 2021. But like I said, you can play the demo now for free, see if it's your kind of thing, and then put it in your Steam wishlist and get it when the full game comes out. I'm very excited to play the full game. and might revisit this review or update you at some point on how the full game plays, but wanted to make sure that other people were aware of it because I only chanced upon it on TikTok, and unless you're in the habit of like looking through all of the categories on Steam, you might not have come across it yet. So go play it, let me know how you found it, get in touch on Twitter or in the comments, let me know if you're enjoying the game. If you know of anything else like it, because I have a hankering to play the full version now and would love to play something similar to it, get in touch, and in the meantime I'll see you in the next one. Bye!